Alrighty guys, make sure to write your name at the top, date, and so today we're doing comparing and ordering scientific notation. Now a couple days ago we learned what scientific notation was, and one of the major advantages of having numbers in scientific notation is that it allows us to compare and order them really easily to figure out, which numbers are smaller than others, or vice versa, which numbers are bigger than others. So let's go ahead with an example so I can show you how it works. Hope I don't run out of ink here. Okay. So compare the following numbers written in scientific notation. Remember, you can always pause the video if you need to catch up with any writing or anything. So let's say we have 3.21 times 10 to the third, and we're going to compare it, so I'm going to leave a blank here where we can put our comparison symbol. Greater than, less than, or equal. 2.99 times 10 to the negative 8. So these are, oh sorry, wrote that from the wrong problem. Oops. We're going to do 5.63 times 10 squared. That's the problem I'm looking at. Sorry, I took some notes so I would be more organized, and I guess I failed. Alright, so we got 3.21 times 10 to the third and 5.63 times 10 squared. So to compare them, to figure out which one of these numbers are bigger than the other, we have to look one place first. Now it's a little tricky because your instinct might say that this guy is bigger because 5.63 is bigger than 3.21. That's not the case though. We have to compare their exponents. Compare the exponents. We have to compare these small numbers, the 3 and the 2. Those are the two numbers we're comparing. So which one's bigger? Well, 3 is bigger than 2. So that means that 3.21 times 10 to the third is actually greater than, it's larger, it's bigger than 5.63 times 10 squared. So I draw my inequality symbol, which is greater than. Remember, you learned way back in the day, the shark eats the bigger number, or that it points to the smaller number. Yes, it still applies here. So 3.21 times 10 to the third is greater than 5.63 times 10 squared because the exponent is bigger. Let's do another example. Got 2.99 times 10 to the negative 8. Now you see why I wrote that initially. And we're comparing it to 1.34 times 10 to the negative fourth. Once again, ignore the numbers at first. Compare the exponents. Negative 8 and negative 4 are my exponents. Well, which one's bigger? Negative 4 is actually bigger because negative 4 is greater than negative 8. Negative 8, you're going further left on the number line. You're getting away from 0. The more negative you go, the smaller the number. So negative 4 is bigger than negative 8. So that means that 1.34 times 10 to the negative fourth is bigger than 2.99 times 10 to the negative 8. So we put our less than symbol because 2.99 times 10 to the negative 8 is less than 1.34 times 10 to the negative 4. Alright, now, what happens when the exponents are the same? So we're going to write that out. What if the exponents are the same? Boop. That's an S. Alrighty. So I went online and I got a couple statistics. I like basketball, so I used them. So I used basketball for this one. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar a Hall of Fame player. He played 5.7446 times 10 to the 4th minutes in the NBA. Karl Malone, another Hall of Fame NBA player, he played 5.4852 times 10 to the 4th minutes in the NBA. They both played a lot of minutes. 10 to the 4th, we know these are going to be big numbers. However, if we try to use the same strategy we did up here, well, 4 and 4, when we compare our exponents, they're the exact same. So we can't just compare the exponents. Now we have to go back and compare the numbers. You always check your exponents first, and only if they are the same do we check the numbers. So we go one place value at a time when we're comparing decimals. So in the one spot, they're both 5. So that doesn't tell me anything yet. We've got to go to the next place value, which is the tenths. Karl Malone has a 7 in his 10th spot. Sorry, I messed that up. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has a 7 in his 10th spot. Karl Malone has a 4 in his 10th spot. So 5.7446 is bigger than 5.4852. So therefore, 5.7446 times 10 to the 4th is greater than 5.4852 times 10 to the 4th. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played more minutes than Karl Malone did in their careers. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar actually holds the record. Okay. Just got a couple more here. So what happens if we have to order multiple scientific notation numbers? So order the following numbers in ascending order. Remember, we learned a couple weeks ago the word ascending. That's just a big old fancy word for least to greatest. And let's say we have 5 times 10 squared, 9.67 times 10 to the negative 1, 8.3 times 10 to the 0, and 6.1 times 10 to the negative 1. Okay, so when we're ordering them, we're doing very similar to what we did on the back side when we just compared them. Now we just got to compare a lot of them. So start at your exponents. Your exponents are what's important for scientific notation. So if we're going least to greatest, well, we need to figure out what's the smallest one first. Well, let's see. Negative 2 or positive 2, negative 1. Okay, negative 1 is smaller than 2. So this guy is definitely not my smallest. All right, negative 1 and 0. Oh, well, negative 1 is smaller than 0. So this one's not my smallest. And uh-oh, we have this situation. Negative 1 and negative 1, they got the same exponent. So to figure out which one of these are smaller, we got to look at their numbers here. So go one digit at a time. 6 is smaller than 9. So this guy right here is our smallest number in this group of numbers. So I come down here and I put 6.1 times 10 to the negative 1 first, because we're going least to greatest, and that's the smallest. Okay, well, I know 9.67 times 10 to the negative 1 has to come next because it was smaller than the other two, because negative 1 is smaller than 0 and 2. Okay. Now we just have these two left. This one has an exponent of 0. This one has an exponent of 2. 0 is smaller than 2. So 8.3 times 10 to the 0 is less than 5 times 10 squared. And that's the last one, and it's the largest number. All right, one final one. So now we need to order the following, running out of ink, numbers in descending order. Well, descending is the opposite of ascending. It's greatest to least. And let's say we have the following numbers: 9.4 times 10 to the negative 6, 3 times 10 to the negative 3, 5.2 times 10 to the 0, and 4.5 times 10 to the negative 3rd. Alright, once again, or not once again, this time we actually got to go the opposite direction. We need to find out what the biggest number is in all of this. So we look at their exponents. See, negative 6, negative 3. Negative 3 is bigger than negative 6. So this one is not my biggest. Okay, negative 3 and 0. 0 is bigger than negative 3. So this one's not my biggest. And then 0, negative 3 again, 0 is still bigger. So this one's not my greatest. This one is the biggest number because 0 is more than negative 3 and negative 6. So 5.2 times 10 to the 0 goes first. Now we've got to find out what our second largest number is. Okay, negative 3 was bigger than negative 6. And these two guys both have negative 3, so it's a tie between these two. We need to use these as our tiebreaker, our numbers. One digit at a time. This 3 is in the ones place. This 4 is in the ones place. 4 is bigger than 3, so this is our second biggest number. Okay, so we said that this one is bigger than this one. This one has to come next because the exponent of negative 3 is bigger than this one, the exponent of negative 6. So there you have it. 5.2 times 10 to the 0 is the largest. This one's the second largest, third largest, and 9.4 times 10 to the negative 6 is the smallest.